Jay Plotkin. You may know him in his role as Chief Assistant State Attorney. You may know about the high-profile cases he has prosecuted in Northeast Florida. What you may not know is the real, behind the headlines Jay Plotkin. A man of vision, passion, and action. Jay Plotkin is a third-generation Jacksonville native, husband and father, and a committed, longtime volunteer in the community he loves. Named top Florida prosecutor in 2006, he understands what's at stake as we deal with rising crime, high dropout rates, and the breakdown of family. Instead of viewing these as isolated problems, Jay sees the connections, and he has dedicated himself, both professionally and in his personal life, to finding solutions. On August 26th, voters in Duval, Clay, and Nassau counties have an important decision to make. Our next state attorney must be someone we can trust to protect our neighborhoods and our quality of life. He must also be someone who sees the big picture, knows how to target resources, and will fight for national model programs that steer juveniles away from crime, away from truancy, and toward responsibility. Most of all, our next state attorney must be someone who understands exactly what we are fighting for.
Every single day when I come home from work, I think about my family. My mother, my father, my beautiful wife, and my 3 wonderful children. And if I can say I've done my part to make this a safer community, a better community for my family and for your family, I know it's been a good day.
Our community needs a strong leader to keep it safe. Jay Plotkin for State Attorney. Protection, prosecution, prevention. Visit votejplotkin.com. Here's what people who know Jay Plotkin are saying.
Jay is very committed to keeping crime off the streets of Jacksonville. He's there, he's walked the streets, he knows the residents out in our communities. They know him, they feel comfortable calling him. And Jay has played a big role in trying to make sure that we are feeling comfortable with reporting crime and feeling safe in our neighborhoods.
My brother Reggie Sumner and his wife Carol were abducted from their home. They disappeared. And basically they were kidnapped by people that knew them and buried in a pre-dug hole and buried alive. And we couldn't ask for a better prosecutor. We couldn't ask for a better outcome. I mean, he laid it all out in the beginning, what his plan was, how he was going to approach it, and he followed it. He didn't back down.
A statesman does things because they believe in it. A politician does it because they want to be elected. A statesman does it because it's going to better the community. A politician does it because it's an exercise in power. Jay is a statesman.
On December 7, 2001, I responded to a robbery in progress at one of the local credit unions. Witnesses identified the suspects to me. We ended up in a vehicle pursuit. I was an on-duty police officer at the time. And suspects exited their vehicle using an automatic assault rifle. What sticks out in my mind, the way Jay prosecuted this case, was that I knew how he was driving, where he was driving to, and I knew that we would reach the ultimate goal, which was prosecution for the suspects to the fullest extent of the law. Prosecution of criminals is the state attorney's most important job.
I never thought I'd graduate high school, nor did I ever think I was going to be any kind of responsible individual. My goals were set so low at that point. When I met him, you know, I would actually be in a jail suit, and he would talk to me like a person. So for someone to sit down and talk to me that was polite and kind actually got my attention. He kind of took me under his wing as I was a youth in his program, which it felt more like a program because it seemed more like he was more about the rehabilitation. Rather than to put you away, he'll try and show you another way.
You know, there's just so many little things that Jay did to make the process easier. You know, almost 10 years after the death of our daughter. In fact, I find it amazing that Jay, on the anniversary of our daughter's death, still calls me every year and says, you know, Steve, how's it going? I'm just checking in. I wanted you to know that I'm thinking about you today.
I've watched him as a volunteer, and quite frankly, before it was ever politically expedient, he was mentoring one-on-one with a child all the way from 7th grade on through high school. And now he's mentoring a second child, and he's just done that. It's not the fanfare. He just does it because it's the right thing to do.
I find that I can judge a person by the way that their children act. Jay's children are wonderful kids. They're loving and beautiful children. And that makes me realize that Jay's mother and father raised a good man and a caring person.
Our community needs a strong leader to keep it safe. Jay Plotkin for State Attorney. Protection, prosecution, prevention. Visit votejplotkin.com.